going on, everybody? So it's like a nice day, and at the same time, it's kind of like a shitty day. It's half cloudy and a bit half sunny type of deal. Now, as you can see by the title of this, women. And this ain't a video on trashing women, but it's a message. And one thing I think we all, it doesn't matter if you're male, or female. One thing we always keep seeing on, I guess, social media posts now is the whole entire, good guys ain't no fun and bad guys ain't no good type of deal. And I just want to explain just how dumb and ignorant that statement is. Especially when, you got some people that have seen different walks of life like that, and you got some that haven't. Me, I've seen a whole lot of bullshit relationships like that. I've seen from my peers and also from myself as well. And the consequences behind those, and then also kind of break down to best I can on, just what it is with most women that just ain't shit. And why they bring that, I want to say, type of energy to themselves, which usually ends up in a bad manner. Where usually something negative happens. So, I'm going to kind of go ahead and go into that. And I don't know how sensitive this topic is. And I don't know how many people may find it I guess harsh, if you will. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. So let's break down the scenario of, good guys just ain't no fun. To me, that's a bullshit understatement, because you can have fun with somebody who is nice, somebody that can be good, but they're not fully good, because I'm pretty sure they got skeletons in that closet just like I do. We all got something to hide. Now, it may not be nothing bad, but you can have fun without being roughed house. You can have fun without being mistreated. You can have fun without, the alcohol and drugs involved. You can actually enjoy planning out stuff and then taking trips to places, with an actual good person. And sometimes a lot of the good ones do have really something bad to hide, and they turn out to be evil. Like you hear a lot of the, murder cases with relationships. Like, this person, began off good, and for so many years you never knew what their motives were, and you may never truly know who they were until one day something happens, and you end up on one of those crime case shows, So you have things like those you have to take into consideration as well. Now, is that going to be probably often or all the time? No. No, it's not. Then you also have to go into the other aspect of the other statement. Well, bad guys ain't no good. And that's where you get a lot of the bullshit that comes with a lot of relationships that end out in murder. That's where you end up with abusive relationships. And why you need to stop really looking for those as a thrill seek. You know, my mother was in those. Nothing good came out of it. My older sister has seen that. I myself have seen that several times with a lot of decent women that turned out to have shitty lives in the end because of a fucked up partner. And a good majority of that ended up some being killed, some losing their children to these assholes, and having to quit what it is that they were wanting to do, you know, with their lives. And, you know, what sucks, like, stuff like that's happened. It really has. But then, you take a look at why women fall into that persona. It's because the bad boy aspect's going to look cool. A good majority of it's just a front. It really is. And a lot of it behind it is because they're not trying to attract a woman, they want to attract a guy. Again, you know, I've seen that coming up for so many years. Especially when it comes from sports players. Especially from the football league. So, some prime examples. Now, I'm going to give you guys details, but I'm not going to say people's names. And, you know, two of them stick out to me most. There was these 4 girls, actually 2, I take that back, that were dealing with this dirty, nasty, faggot, bisexual motherfucker who was on the football team and who took steroids, and also who was a false blood, claiming he was a blood. And a good majority of the time, he was around with some of his friends, his homies on the football team. Now, during this time, a lot of the people that did play sports, a lot of the jocks would wear the small children's cartoon backpacks from, I guess, Sesame Street. And they would wear, well, this is the time where skinny jeans really started coming into play, but not getting as popular. So they would sag and show their ass around their homeboys, literally. He would hug up against his homies, who he was pretty much fucking, literally. And some shit that they would do in the locker rooms. Now, I mean, I never played sports, but trust me, there's going to be things that you're going to hear about, and a good majority of it's true. And there's a lot of it that you are going to see. One of them I seen where he pushed a boy up against a locker, brushed his hands down his pants, and then proceeded to kiss him. Always at a time being seen with a guy holding hands. He would try to juggle 2 other women, but he wouldn't give a shit about them. Point blank, there's nothing more I can say about that. Well, time would go on for a little while, he left one of the girls. She found out about him, that he was seeing her best friend. Those two had their relationship as a friend relationship because of a guy ended horribly. So they never talked to each other again. After when the other one found out about that, she broke off with him. Then he ended up leaving her for a guy in secret, which was this girl's new boyfriend. During a school TV program they were trying to do a parody skit that seemed to come off a bit too realistic, because they were dressed as females, or as drag queens per se. If anything, it was drag queens. One scene between three guys, kind of holding hands, and then two of them with kissing, came off way too damn real. Now, at the time, I was already out of school, and I'm talking about during high school at that. So why in the fuck? And so I'm like, 2 years ahead of these people, but I knew them. I just want to fill in that part. So, only did I know him, not know him per se, but I knew one of the girls was a nice person. I'm going to get to that. And saw it on YouTube. And that was some heteros faggot shit. Really, really, really flaming faggot shit at that. So, going in to now, I guess after they all kind of got out of school, this girl, she was a nice person, really sweet, but she always chose the wrong people. Always chose. And because of that, what ended up happening with her fiance wasn't really her fiance, because not only did he decided to go ahead and use her for her money that she was getting, got her pregnant, right? During the time, got her hooked on drugs, which ended up getting her kicked out of college, because she wanted to be a teacher. During that, again, he was fucking one of her best friends. Well, behind closed doors, this guy would just continue on to be more and more dirty. So what does he do? Again, he hooks up with a guy. Well, the girl that I knew, she ended up losing her child to this guy. Again, hoarding out on money, right? That was his. Again, at the same time, using hers. So now, the child, who is about, maybe 5 years old right now, doesn't know if he is a boy or a girl. You see what I'm saying? Going into this, the same person is pretty much, what can I say? He's fake. And I dealt with him. I don't care much for him, and he knows it. Not only did he mess up this girl's life, who ended up hooking up with another dirtbag, and had to move out of Colombia because he gave her a bad reputation, but the same guy shoots up heroin, snorts coke, advertises as crystal meth, wanted to be a rapper. That didn't work out. I dissed his entire gang. They didn't do shit when they saw me. Keep it real. Going in more into it, now he claims to be awoke, which he's fake awoke and clout chasing off spirituality. Nothing to joke with. And now everyone completely left him because a lot of girls got onto him, and he claimed that he had sex with them. They found out, and it turned out not to be true. So, this guy was, a lot of his so-called close friends really left him too because of his bullshit actions. going into that is another story. So, there was one girl, we liked each other, and we tend to flirt with each other behind closed doors, even though we were both seeing two different people. Keep it real. During the process of this, the person she was with, I had to get her out of it anyways, because it was going to end up horrible for her, because he turned out to really just be abusive from the start and not afraid of letting it show. There are times where I would see her, she would have bruises on her. Literally. And she was going to end up killed. So after about, we stopped really seeing, after about we both went our separate ways, because I was doing one thing, she was doing something else. She would intend to hook up with other men that would literally end up treating her like shit. Ended up in abusive relationships, and then had to move so much to different places in the same city. Going into it, she got pregnant by a deadbeat, and now she has this persona of hating men. So, and then you have the point where you have women that just ain't shit. And the women that complain the most on social media about men ain't a problem with the guy. It's a problem with you. Do you ever think that there's a problem with you and that you ain't shit? Because a good majority of the time it is them, because they don't know what they want and they're unhappy with themselves. And no one's going to feel like doing the same thing, constantly over and over every day. And I understand it's a routine pattern. And I get it, you people want to stick to their comfort zone, but the problem is with most women that are like that, one, your head game ain't shit. Two, your pussy probably ain't shit. Three, you ain't shit. Four, your ass can't stick to one fucking job because you keep hooking up with niggas at the job, and then your ass get caught up. And then you want to fucking constantly bitch. So, with the women like that, they just ain't shit. And they're going to end up being alone and constantly not be shit. Two. So, with that being said, with everything, you really have to take into consideration what you're going to say, what you're going to want to do, and who you're going to want to be with. Because if you don't give somebody the chance, you may never have a good life. You may end up with one of the most shittiest lives, or end up being dead with the wrong person. You see what I'm saying? With me and Stephanie, she tolerates me because, my mood swings and my blackouts. I tend to get verbal at times. She knows that. There's times where, at times, yeah, she does piss me off, and I want to do something, but I'm not going to. But she can tolerate my ass. She literally fucking can, and she doesn't take it. But we have understandings, and she tries to help me cope with that, because there are some things in my past that has nothing to do with relationships that makes me have bipolar depression, mood swings, and blackouts and PTSD. And it takes a strong woman to cope with that. But the majority of the time is that misses. I'm trying to say, you got to be careful, man, with who you choose, because you have to ask yourself, do you want to be happy with somebody that is good, even though you're going to have your boring days? But you do know at the most that, as I was saying before my phone went out, and, I only get like 20 minutes of recording time on this phone because it doesn't hold very much. But, what I was saying, you do have to be careful, as a woman, who you're going to choose. But before I really wrap up, I kind of want to give another example, again, of why you should be careful and not make stupid statements like everyone sees today. So, one example, and again, I don't want to be too long with this, but one example, I was with my old next door neighbor, and I know she went through a bad marriage and went through a divorce, but I didn't know how bad it was. I don't think nobody really knew. But going into this, I do believe that she went through, name changes and I guess kind of put underneath some kind of protection, right, from her ex-husband. And I say this because it was her and her daughter one day, and this was like in broad daylight, right? And it took place inside the house. I can't remember off the top exactly why she called. I think she was getting either new cable installed with Charter at the time or internet, because I do remember it was one of those white cable internet vans, and it was her ex-husband that showed up. And I guess for years, from what it seemed like, from what was being said after the cops showed up, is that he's been looking for her for a numerous amount of years. And during what took place, once they opened the door, holy shit, he barged in. He fucking beat the wife, a couple of times, threw her. The daughter tried to stop him. He grabbed his daughter, and these were like the details that was being said. Picked her up, slammed her up against the wall with one hand, her head in the wall, just intending to beat them till they were almost dead. After he got done, he left, and then the cop showed up. So, again, that's just an example of, why you need to be careful. Say, well, bad guys ain't no good. Because when you say shit like that, you're gonna end up probably dead. Same thing with not just with women, but also with guys. Because I remember a fucking crazy ex-girlfriend of mine who was my cousin's best friend. She was a fucking psychopath, man. She had a fucking split personality like hell. One day she fucking flipped and tried to kill me with a pair of scissors, and I had to put that bitch down. And I'm not, say, oh, well, you hit a woman, put your hands on a female. Listen, it ain't good for a man to put his hands on a woman, just like it ain't good for a woman to put her hands on a man. But I do believe in this. I believe in self-defense. Again, I don't know when you guys are going to see this video, but I do remember doing a video, those that, even if it's up by now or not up yet, it's called Self-Defense Laws. And any given situation, if you're a woman and a man's trying to attack you, you have the right to defend yourself. The same thing, if a woman's attacking a man out of the blue for no apparent reason, you do have the right to defend yourself, because it could be a life or death situation for both parties, regardless if it's a man attacking a woman or a woman attacking a man, it's going to be your life or theirs. So, when my ex, like she said, I believe she had something really wrong with her. She fucking flipped out. My cousin seen it too. I had to put that bitch down, drop her. Not hit her, not put my hands and feet on, but just literally pick her up and just fucking drop her. Like, you're not finna fucking do this. At all. Luckily, nothing really occurred of it. I know about so many years later or whatever, she ended up finding somebody else, hooked up with, got married and had a couple of kids, but then after that marriage went to shit. Because she has fucking psychological issues. And last time I heard, the kids were taken away from her because of whatever is wrong with her. I do, even in one case, when I had probation class once, and again, here in the state of Tennessee, we don't have no self-defense laws, which means if you defend yourself, you get in trouble, and you end up getting arrested for defending yourself as they let the attacker go. And I explained that in the video called Self-Defense Laws, regardless if it's up by now or not, whenever this video drops, because I give my videos time to set and simmer, and whatever I drop, it's what I drop. But this guy, and they had, in some cases, they take photo evidence for court and things like that for cases when it comes to domestic violence. And in this particular case, this guy, him and his wife got into an argument, but nothing serious. And she's one of those women that likes to turn the kids against the father. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about with stuff like that, but it seems to be that case. He was smoking, and she fucking just hit him with the pan that just came off the stove. And poured some, splashed some grease on him. And Justin Timberlake Linda heard him, and he's trying to get away from her. And he called the cops. But rather than arresting, I guess, the ex, and also he was burnt with a cigarette by the daughter. So rather than arresting the ex and the daughter, they arrested him. All because he tried to get away. And I guess defending himself, not by fighting back, but by blocking and getting away, they arrested him. And he's going through this, and they took pictures. So you mean to tell me, and again, that's just an example, right there. But again, not to get too much into the self-defense thing, but, here in the state of Tennessee, if you defend yourself, you get arrested. So that's one example right there. But with that being said, when I'm talking to the women who see this, you have to ask yourself this question, do you want to be with somebody that's good? Somebody that, I guess there's level to, not bad secrets, but like small shit, or just like small shit type of skeletons in the closet, but nothing too major, nothing too much. Somebody that is nice, somebody that does have a living, somebody that is making something, somebody that is making something of themselves, somebody that's bringing in a good enough salary, good salary, somebody, who does love you. You guys may not go everywhere once in a while, but you know that you're happy. And yeah, you may find yourself bored at times, but you know that you're happy. You know that you ain't being neglected or abused. You know that he's letting you, either helping you through school or letting you work and not putting you through shit. And you guys know that you guys have a good relationship. And if you guys have kids together, then, your kids are good too. Rather, and then, again, making plans and then going somewhere once in a while, May not be on vacation all the time, but, somewhere. Or would you rather be the woman with somebody, again, a bad guy who just ain't no good, somebody who's a deadbeat, as a boyfriend, as a husband, as a father, as a baby daddy, somebody who has fucked up secrets, somebody who does have skeletons in their closet, somebody with a very fucked up record, somebody who just wants to smoke weed, do drugs, drink all day, fucking play 2K and shit, not do anything, fuck around with his friends, literally, cheat on you, somebody who will neglect you, abuse you, ignore you, and use you for your income, and somebody who really just don't give a shit all fucking together and has a fucking numerous amount of kids with different women who you're going to have problems with. And throughout that, you're probably going to end up losing your life. Do you want to be like that? Or do you want to be the happy one? Who at times, do you want to be happy? The happy one that may get bored once in a while, but you have somebody good. And you don't have to have drugs and liquor and going to the clubs all the fucking time with your spouse just to have fun. You don't. So you really have to ask yourself. So the women that always post the, well, niggas ain't shit type of deal. The ones that always fucking complain the most. They're the ones that ain't shit. It ain't the man, it's you. And you need to take a look in the mirror. Because all the shit and your actions that you do make you not shit. And you wonder why men hit you up and only want a smash out fast session. Because they ain't trying to be with you like that. Because they know you really ain't shit. Going into that as well, You gotta stop fucking asking and wishing for something that you know in the end you ain't gonna want, because you're gonna end up being hurt too. Again, so with the whole, well, bad guys ain't no good and good guys ain't no fun type of deal, the women that say that are the women that ain't pretty much shit. And we all know those ones that always post about guys most of the time just complaining. They're the ones that ain't shit. Not the man. It's you. And it's you who don't give people an actual fucking chance. Also, going into this topics also for the women, again, that, you know, you really have to stop picking deadbeats over those that ain't deadbeats, man. And, you know, same thing with guys, you know, we pick the hood rat over, you know, cycle with guys too, you know. We want to pick the hood rats over the ones that are doing something with their lives too, so. You know, it goes for both sides of the coins, but this message is literally for women, man. You know, you have to ask yourself that question. And I'm out.